Yes, my people, I don't come again to update our mindset. Like you all know, today update now the outcome of the meeting when the ECOWAS Chief of Defense where they hold for Ghana. So right now, for those of us who never see the outcome of the meeting concerning the coup where they go on for Niger, right now I go bring up the video so I go see the outcome of the meeting where they hold for Ghana. So right now, as I bring up the video, since it's the first time when they come across my page or they see my video, I beg you in the name of God, follow my page and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So as I bring the update on a daily basis, you dey updated on a daily basis. So right now, I'll bring up the video. Make sure say you go like, comment, and share. So that people never see them, they go see where they go and the outcome of the meeting concerning the coup where they go on for Niger.
I tell you, we are ready to go anytime the order is given. The D-Day is also decided.
As ECOWAS Chiefs of Defense Staff rounded up their two-day meeting in Ghana with a warning that they have set a D-Day for the invasion of Niger, that they are now waiting for the order to invade, all ECOWAS countries will contribute troops for the military intervention in Niger except the ones under suspension and under military rule. That's talking about Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea, plus Cape Verde. There are other things the ECOWAS Commissioner Abdel Fattah Musa said, but we'll come back to that in a moment. The situation doesn't look good. It means an invasion of Niger is imminent. Is this why the United States is making precautionary plans to evacuate their drone bases in Niger? This was revealed by the Air Force Commander for Africa. He said they are currently looking for nearby African countries in the Sahel or Sahara regions that are allied with the United States, where they can quickly evacuate the drone bases. Even if it's not about the impending Niger invasion, the military guys in Niger have made it difficult for the Americans to continue their operations in their military bases. Since the Nigerian airspace is closed, the military requires the Americans to seek permission for each flight they want to embark on, and it seems they don't approve all flights. The US forces also mostly stay inside their military bases since the coup happened. They no longer conduct training exercises or other humanitarian work. If the United States is truly neutral in the scheme of things, it's better for them to leave. No one will be happy helping someone who doesn't show appreciation. Even the US taxpayers that are funding US operations in Niger wouldn't be happy that they are not returning the gesture. And if they were to make a decision on the steps to take in this situation, most will likely and definitely choose a closure and return of the US forces. Also, in a chaotic situation, it might be difficult to leave in a hurry. They might even need to leave some equipment behind, just like it happened in Afghanistan. Why not leave early since they've called for it? Nigerians have been staging rallies near the French military base, asking them to leave their country. It's not clear if they've done that at the US military base in Niamey or the one at Agadez. Despite Niger having an insurgency problem, which has picked up since the coup happened, and the US claiming they are there to help and train them to fight insurgency, if they insist that the United States must close down the military bases and leave their country, the US will have no option but to leave. They can't cry more than the bereaved. Let the Nigerians deal with it themselves. After all, they've got several Bayraktar drones that they can deploy to monitor these guys. Every country should be able to defend and protect their country from all sorts of threats. No serious country should outsource their security and protection to another country. It's obvious that Niger didn't ask the United States to come and set up a military base in their country. It was the United States that made the proposal and they accepted. If they are now saying they don't want the drone base anymore, there's nothing the United States can do. They will simply close down the base and leave. Maybe that's why the US is yet to designate what happened in Niger as a coup, hoping that diplomacy can make them change their minds and return Bazoum to power. At this stage, and considering how the military men have grown in popularity in Niger, Bazoum may no longer come back to power. Besides, it's not only the United States that are evacuating. It was reported that some of the military high ranks in Niger are evacuating their families and loved ones to Burkina Faso en route Dubai. Arise TV cited a source within the military circle. The source said that their families were evacuated using several Gulfstream G550 aircrafts that took off from Agadez Airport. So they've evacuated their wives and children. What will happen to the children and wives of the poor? If this report is true, it means that they've got intelligence that an invasion is imminent. This can also be seen by the US preparation for evacuation of their military bases.
This junta in Niger is playing cat and mouse with the community. They should know one thing. They have flouted their own constitution that forbids military incursions into politics.
This is the problem here. Is he talking on behalf of ECOWAS leaders or his own opinion? Since he's a commissioner and a representative, that's the assumption. He's talking on their behalf. First of all, Mr. Fattah Musa and ECOWAS leaders should understand that no constitution in any country makes provision for a military coup, because the drafters or lawmakers never envisage that a coup will happen. Most constitutions make provisions for unsuccessful coup, which is treason. If a military coup becomes successful, it becomes a revolution. You can't call it treason. Who will try them for treason in Niger? They are the people in power. They are the authority. In fact, they are above the constitution right now. They are ruling by decrees. So on what basis will they be charged for treason? And there's nowhere in the Nigerian constitution that it says that ECOWAS, ECOMOG, or outside forces will come and intervene if a successful military coup happens in Niger. In many West African countries, the constitution that guides their democracy today were all handed over to them by military regimes. After they successfully executed a coup and it became a revolution, people in Niger are not seeking the help of ECOWAS to come and remove the military and install Bazoum. It is very clear that ECOWAS leaders are motivated by outside influence. They should not declare war on Nigeria. Yes, a war in Niger will affect Nigeria more than any West African country. Did they consider this? No one declares war on himself. Besides, ECOWAS is an economic community. It's a trade union. Member states never surrendered their sovereignty when they joined the union. Therefore, ECOWAS or ECOMOG cannot exercise sovereignty powers over member states. They should not hide under any guise to bring war in West Africa. They should expend the energy in solving their individual problems and leave Niger alone to solve their own problems. When they talk to Nigerians in this manner, that they are playing cat and mouse with ECOWAS, it's condescending. They are not even from Niger. They are threatening people in their own country. What gives them the right? They are not obligated to negotiate on ECOWAS terms. ECOWAS is using the carrot and stick approach, but it doesn't always work with military guys. They are threatening them, and on the other hand, they are telling them to negotiate on their own terms. It seems ECOWAS are not negotiating in good faith. Why not go ahead with whatever they want to do instead of wasting time? Since they believe the Nigerians are not serious, ECOWAS simply made a bad situation worse by threatening Niger with a military intervention after sanctioning them. When you sanction someone, it means you want to subdue the person. And if you are holding the person on the ground, how will the person negotiate under duress? They are buying time and finding ways around the sanctions. If they succeed, then the ECOWAS sanctions have failed to subdue them. This will harden their position. So ECOWAS leaders shouldn't escalate the situation out of pride. They should accept their mistake and remove the sanctions as demanded by Niger. Let's see if they won't come to the negotiating table.
They have flouted ECOWAS instruments, particularly the various sections of the Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance that declares zero tolerance for power obtained or maintained by unconstitutional means.
Unconstitutional means? Does it include tenure elongation? Does it include political coup, rigging of elections, and a candidate who fell short of constitutional requirements to be declared winner, but they still went ahead and swore him into office? Yes, for those who are not aware, Tinubu didn't meet Nigeria's constitutional requirements despite a judicial precedent that interpreted that section of Nigeria's constitution. Nigeria's Electoral Commission declared him winner, and the Buhari administration organized a handover ceremony. The outcome of the presidential election is still being contested in court.
One individual brought Iraq, an ancient civilization, to its knees. One individual brought Libya to a sorry state. We have individuals who have amassed wealth and think they can, in the Eagle Square, disgrace citizen number 1, citizen number 2, citizen number 3, because they have millions of dollars to spend on state governors. And they will come out, hold INEC, control the security, control the judiciary. That is why they are telling you go to court.
ECOWAS has never said anything about all these unconstitutional means, and the man involved in all this is busy bullying and threatening Niger. This is the problem. When corrupt politicians do all sorts of things, rig elections, and buy their way to power, ECOWAS and the West never condemn them. Anybody that is willing to buy his way to power will never deliver good governance. If democracy doesn't bring dividends, it doesn't lift people out of poverty, it will lead to increased crime and the whole country will become unstable, which might lead to a military coup, and if successful, it becomes a revolution. And if the military really came to clean up the mess of politicians, then the country can start again on a clean slate. It happened in Ghana. It happened in many countries. In Nigeria's case, a proper revolution never happened. In fact, the military took over and stole more than the politicians they deposed. From Buhari, who removed democratically elected Shehu Shagari from office, to Babangida, who led a counter coup to remove Buhari, and Abacha, who led a palace coup to remove the interim government that Babangida left behind after he annulled Nigeria's freest and fairest presidential election in 1993. Between them, they stole billions of dollars from Nigeria. Babangida couldn't account for the more than $12 billion oil revenue Nigeria earned during the Gulf War in 1991. Abacha stole and laundered more than $5 billion from Nigeria. Up till today, Western countries are still repatriating millions of dollars that Abacha stole and laundered to their countries. More than 25 years he committed the crime. So it's important to understand the root causes of military coups. The coupists might be motivated by personal greed. They are tired of corrupt politicians stealing money and flaunting it in their faces. When most soldiers are not paid up to $100 per month, the men in this category might just strike and continue where the politicians stopped. Others might be motivated by the need to do the right thing, to stop the corruption and stealing of state resources by politicians, to restore justice where injustice is the order of the day. In a society where there is no justice, there won't be peace. There will be agitation. In a country with huge natural resources being mined by foreigners and their people are very poor, you won't have peace. There won't be stability. So these are some of the root causes of military coups in many countries. And when people have to use force to restore democracy in African countries, it simply shows that there's a problem. If a product is very good, it will market itself. You don't need to force it on people. If dividends of democracy could be felt by many people, you won't see people jubilating after the military coup in Niger. Instead, people will oppose them, and if internal opposition becomes strong, they won't be able to stay in power. They will quickly organize elections and return to their barracks. Despite all this happening in Niger, there's still no justification for any military intervention in Niger. All ECOWAS leaders and everyone involved in the planning of this impending war in Niger, have they all thought about the wider fallout of the conflict in West Africa? What about the humanitarian crisis that could arise from the invasion? They are already mobilizing young Nigerians in their thousands. Are they going to walk over them just to achieve their objective? No military intervention is easy. It's always complicated and unpredictable. It's better to jaw than to war. There are millions of poor West Africans that can be fed with the budget for this intervention instead of wasting it in an unnecessary conflict. Niger and many countries in the Sahel region are already plagued by insurgency. So imagine what will happen when another conflict breaks out in the region. Thanks for watching.